Okay, so I've had a lot of people ask me, how much content do I need to put into an online lesson? Should it take a student 3 hours to sit down and do an online lesson, because that's what they would be doing in a week in a traditional class? So if you're thinking about a traditional class being 15 weeks long, meeting 3 hours a week, that's 45 hours of content. How do I find 45 hours of content for every course that I create? One of the things that's different is that online students, when they are directed to a discussion board, there's some time that it takes to pull that up, to read everybody's comments. It takes a little bit more time just to do some of the traditional things that we think of in an online course. But I thought what would be helpful is for me to share with you what an online course looks like and what one 1 hour lesson looks like. I mean, what 1 week 3 hour lesson looks like. So sorry, let me go ahead and pull up a lesson so that you can see. So the nice thing about creating a video is when the instructor is fumbling around, you can actually fast forward. Okay, so hopefully you didn't fast forward past this, but here we have one 3 hour class, okay? And I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So this is foundation policy. We have an introduction that tells the students what they're gonna be doing in this lesson, the required readings, and then we have some PowerPoint slides, another set of PowerPoint slides, another reading, a video, reflection questions for students to consider after viewing the PowerPoints, readings, and videos. These will come up again. And then a question to consider, how do you define poverty? Then a video, another video. Yikes. And then they are directed to their discussion board where they answer their lesson 4 question. You can see 14 people have responded to this one. And then we've offered an optional supplemental viewing, should they want to kind of go above and beyond. There's no assignment due this week. So that's just kind of what one lesson looks like in a 3 hour online class. It's basically kind of considering what you would do in the classroom. Let me show you, oops, thanks. Let me show you another example of a lesson. Let's do practice. We'll do practice class. Here's a little bit lengthier introduction. We're going to start out with a video in this class. What's an ethical dilemma? We're going to have a required reading, and it's not just in Spanish. There's an English version here too. This is the Texas State Board of Social Work Examiners Code of Conduct. Then we have 2 chapters from their textbook that they need to read. And then for this one, instead of just reading PowerPoints, they have a voice thread, which is the PowerPoint with the activity kind of embedded into it, where they get to answer the voice thread on the screen. This is kind of taking a little bit of time. While that's pulling up, let's go back to this. Okay, so here we are back to the voice thread. We're going to talk about social work values and ethics. Both of these things are definitely intertwined because social... Okay, so there you see, there's like a video lecture, and this voice thread is the thing where students can actually answer on the screen. They can participate by making a comment, by hitting the microphone, or they can video themselves, or they can text in their comment. So on these voice threads, I actually pose questions and they answer them right there on the screen. this is not done synchronously. So this is anytime they log into the PowerPoint, they get to answer their questions. Okay, and so that's the VoiceThread. Then I have a podcast on here that they can listen to. This podcast is an hour long. So if you're really considering, like, what do I want them to, I mean, I think that this lesson is going to take longer than 3 hours for them to complete. But I kind of consider some of this homework. This is stuff that they would be doing at home, perhaps. And then there's another, now we're moving into a different topic, strengths-based perspective. So another VoiceThread lecture. And then I have an optional character strengths survey. And then there's no assignment for this class. So this is, the way that I find out whether students have participated and done this lesson is through the VoiceThread. So pretty much in every lesson that I create, I have some way of checking to make sure that they're viewing the content and actually doing it. So that's a different way. So that's what you would consider like, you know, a typical 3-hour class. So if you're considering that you're going to be teaching an 8-week course, you would want like kind of double this content, which means that for every lesson, you're going to have some readings, some sort of interactive lecture, which would be maybe a VoiceThread or a video that they're watching, a documentary. But if you ask them to watch something, I would follow it up with some sort of something tied to it, a question that they have to answer, or, you know, using WhatsApp or some type of texting that students can do, or a discussion board, just because you really do want to make sure that students are doing the work. Again, I always say that we get out of the program what we put into it. And I tell my face-to-face students that, and I tell my online students that. There are always going to be students that sit at the back of the classroom and zone out during class. There's going to be online students who skip over material. Hopefully, the way that we design the program and the courses, we'll be able to catch those students, and they won't end up passing. So that is kind of a little glimpse into maybe how to set up a lesson. Hopefully it's helpful, and we can meet and talk more about it one-on-one.